Guys, is there a person that you know, okay, whether it be in your school, college, uni, for my British viewers, uni, right? Gym, whatever. Is there a person that constantly comes up and talks to you, and they talk for about a good 10, 15, some of them ramble on for minutes upon minutes, and when you try to input what you're about to say, they kind of, they're not listening, right? They start looking around. They're like, yeah. So anyway, and then they go right back to talking, right? They go right back to saying what they're saying. That is a sign of an energy vampire or a trauma dumper. What they do is they talk and talk. The things that they talk about are majority of the times 90% negative. They're complaining, gossiping, talking about other people, right? Gossiping, I already said that, but they be doing it so much I had to say it 2 damn times. Complaining, I said that in the beginning, I had to say it 2 times because that is what they mainly talk about. There's really nothing positive about what they're talking about. It's nothing but complaining. It's about complaining about their job, complaining about their manager, complaining about the supervisor, complaining about the work, right? Even though they've been working there for years upon years and they're still bitching and complaining about the same thing. They're complaining about their wives, they're complaining, or husband, or children, or the co-workers. Okay? They're just dumping on you. This is trauma dumping. This is what trauma dumping is. They are using you as a therapist. They're using you as Dr. Phil. Okay. And they choose introverted people because, especially if you're cool. Okay. Especially if you're an introvert that's cool. And guys, just because you're an introvert does not mean you're some kind of weird antisocial misfit. Okay. It doesn't mean that. It just means you're more on a calmer side. It just means that if you do have a conversation, because we do have conversations, I have convos all the time. The thing about it is, most of the time, a person starts it, not you. Okay. Not you, a person starts it. And that is one of the main ways that you are open to these type of people, energy vampires and trauma dumpers, because they're the ones that start, because they see that you're more on a reserve side. So what they, in their head, what they're seeing is, oh, this is a listening ear. Okay. So I'm gonna get into it. This is Tarik Talks. Let's talk about these energy vampires and trauma dumpers that you need to avoid, because they have very bad energy and low frequency, unfortunately, and they pass it off to you. Guys, think back to a time where it's someone that you knew that it would constantly be negative, constantly complain, constantly bitching and complaining and moaning. And when you try to give your input, they either cut you off or they ignore what you're saying, or they start looking around, their eyes start wandering. You know why their eyes start wandering? Because they're not interested in what you have to say. See, this conversation that they're having is not really a conversation, because a conversation takes 2 people, right? It's a dialogue is between 2 people. Hence the prefix die. Die means 2. Okay. Dialogue. Okay. It's a monologue. It's a conversation with themselves, but you are the person that is hearing it. And they really do not want your input. As a matter of fact, they would rather you shut the hell up. They would actually, this is, guys, I'm telling you, if you dealt with a trauma dumper or an energy vampire, you know what I'm talking about. They rather you just sit there and shut the hell up while they ramble on about things that you honestly have no interest in. A lot of times the trauma dumpers that I've dealt with, one of them was super bad. Okay. It was so bad, I remember it. And this is why I'm making this type of video, because these people are just, and I'm not calling them bad, okay? I'm not calling them malicious, because believe it or not, guys, these people don't even realize what the hell they're doing, okay? Which is why you have to kind of give the impression that you don't care what they're talking about in a polite manner, okay? There's a way to do it, and I'm gonna get into it, right? I'm gonna get to that a little later, but you have to let them know that, hey, look, I get it. I'm sorry about the problem that you've been complaining about for a month straight to me, but not interested, okay? But they will do that. They will ramble on, and you barely got a word or two in. And at the end of the conversation, you might even feel a little drained. Guys, sometimes I have felt used. Right? And that wasn't the only trauma dumper and energy vampire, by the way, that I encountered. It's been times where I felt used. Like, I don't know if you guys can relate, but I felt like I was used as a therapist, because at the end of the conversation, first of all, I realized that this person didn't give a shit as to what I had to say, because when I did try to give my input, right, when they did give me that 2-second window to give in my input, I was cut off, or what I said completely, they just completely switched the subject and just kept rambling on what they said, right? So I felt used. And then second, I felt I felt that my energy had shifted to a more negative, if it switched to a more negative vibe, a negative frequency. Why is that? Why does your energy shift when you're dealing with an energy vampire or a trauma dumper? Well, it's in the name, energy, okay? Energy vampire. What happens is, guys, we are energetic beings. We are made up of energy. It either vibrates high or it vibrates low. And the thing about energy is it transfers, okay? You guys, I know some of you guys have heard the theory, okay, that energy never dies. It just transfers to something else. This is the exact same concept. That energy is being transferred from that person to you. So you could have been in a good mood. You could have been in a, in a pretty decent mood, right? But this person comes in with their negativity, comes in with their whining, complaining. And don't get it twisted, guys. We all have our gripes. We all have our little problems at home and stuff, but they are just 24/7, just spewing it and dumping it on everyone, right? And this energy transfers to you. Since you're the one that is kind of more on the calmer side, okay, what this person is doing is they're using you as a therapist. Think about a trauma dumper and an introvert and a therapist and patient dynamic, right? The trauma dumper is the patient. You, if you choose to be, because guys, I'm gonna tell you right now, if you deal with these type of people, you need to let them know that you're not interested. Okay, you're not interested in a conversation. You don't have to scream at them or go off on them, right? Don't do that at all. Just kind of cut the conversation short. After they finish their sentence, which might take fucking forever, right? If it's taking a little too long, okay, you might have to kind of cut them off. Be like, okay, hey, look, I gotta go do this. Or I gotta look at this. Let me talk to you, or not even talk to you. I gotta do this right now. You know what I'm saying? I'll catch you later. They'll get the clue. They'll get the hint. And just kind of look the other direction and do what you was doing, right? Because as introverts, more than likely, you're focused on your job. You're not trying to have a long, drawn out conversation about negative shit. Okay. So that's how you handle that. But what they're doing is they are using you as a therapist, as a psychiatrist. Okay. Because think about it like this. When a client, right, he goes into a therapist, he goes into a psychiatrist, what is he doing? He's sitting there and he's talking, he's dumping all his traumas or her traumas. He's talking about what happened to him when he was 5, or her when she was 5. He's talking about what happened at work, what happened at home, complaining about the spouse, complaining about their car, just everything. And then what is the therapist doing? They're listening. Okay, they're listening, they're writing down notes, right? And the thing behind the psychology behind this is the person, the trauma dumper, is letting all he's venting. He or she is venting. And what this does is it is an unhealthy way. And I know someone's gonna be like, oh, venting is unhealthy. There's a healthy and unhealthy way of doing it. This person is doing it in an unhealthy way by constantly. Okay. Now, notice that I said constantly, excessively, chronically complaining. We all know people that constantly and chronically complain, constantly and chronically are saying negative shit. Those are energy vampires because they fuck everyone's energy up. They make you feel bad. They drain your energy to make themselves feel better. And what this is, it's a dopamine hit. Okay. Believe it or not, it's a dopamine hit for them because instead of resolving their problems in a healthier way, such as journaling, right? Journaling, exercising, meditating, changing their mind frame, telling themselves, hey, I am worthy. I am successful. I am someone who is happy. They're always in a constant state of F this, F that, F her, F him, F the world. So they're going to be in a constant state of this negative, it's like a revolving door of negativity. Okay. So instead of them being healthy about it, they do it in an unhealthy way, in an unproductive way. They spew all of their trauma out. And the thing about these people is they actually think this is probably the worst thing about it. They think the people actually care, right? Am I saying that you be a cold-hearted bastard and not empathize? Not at all. Okay, I'm not saying that, but when as I'm talking about the psychology of trauma dumpers that constantly spew negative stuff, they actually think people care, right? They think by them just spewing out all of their problems and complaining and dumping it on everyone, they feel like the person on the receiving end, which is you, the introvert, actually cares. So that makes them feel good. Okay, that makes them feel good, just like a psychiatrist. That's why people literally pay therapists and go to psychiatrists or which I'm not shitting on, by the way, because that's how you're supposed to do it. Because guess what? The difference between a psychiatrist and you is a psychiatrist is getting paid. Okay, but that's why the client feels better because they dumped all of their traumas on that person. They vented. Right. And the thing about these people is you'll notice after a conversation, after an interaction with these people, you feel somewhat drained. You feel used. Okay. You feel used. You feel like they used you for your attention because they didn't even give a damn about what you had to say. So you feel like you were used, bro. You know, you feel like you were used up. And your energy it shifts. Okay, your energy shifts. If you might have been positive, now it's bad. And these people, they don't realize what they're doing. Okay, some of them probably do, but most of them don't. So that is why it is important for introverts. That saying of protect your peace, protect your energy. That this definitely applies to this. You need to protect your energy because they're going to keep using it. They're going to keep using you up. They're going to keep using you up. It's like a slot machine with a button on it. Every time they press it, they get money out of it or coins. Except in this case, they're getting your energy. They keep pressing that button, energy. Press that button, energy. Complaining, gossiping, energy. They're getting your attention. That's what an energy vampire is. They exchange their trauma for your energy. Right? So anyway, be safe. Peace.